Welcome back to the BC Lloyd Building on the Greene County Fairgrounds in Paragould. Thanks so much for joining us on Tubetown for our first ever MMA event. This is Caged Combat Championship 3. I'm Andy Manus. Joining me here ringside, Aaron Hathcock for all your play-by-play tonight. Aaron, we're very lucky to be cage side tonight. Not only do we have probably the best seats in the house, but we get the opportunity to do Tubetown's first MMA event. This is going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this card. There's 6 exciting fights on this card tonight, all the way up to a lot of weight classes, all the way up to heavyweight. So we should see some interesting fights. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, 6 fights on the card tonight, 5 bouts before our main event, which will be the 6th one, obviously. But before we break down those matchups, as Aaron and I mentioned, this is a Tubetown first. Aaron, if you don't mind, let's go over some of the basic rules for tonight's fights for those of us who are not so familiar with MMA.
All right. Every fight tonight will consist of 3 3-minute rounds, and there will be 3 judges outside the ring scoring each round, and they'll be scoring each fight using the 10-point must system. Under the 10-point must system, the winner of each round gets 10 points automatically, and then the other fighter receives either 9 points or less.
It's very similar to boxing, as you mentioned earlier when we were just briefly talking. Boxing
correct.
uses the same system. So if you're familiar with boxing or know a little bit about it, you're not too far off.
That's right. One of the main differences about judging in MMA is that the judges award points based on a number of mixed martial arts techniques that they see in each round. Effective striking, effective grappling, control of the cage, aggressiveness, and effective defense. That's what each of the judges are looking for, and they're going to decide who wins each round based on those things.
So now that we have a little bit of an understanding of the scoring system, what are some of the basic don'ts for MMA fighting?
The major illegal moves in MMA, there's no headbutting, there's no eye gouging, no biting, no strikes or attacks of any kind to the groin. There's no small joint manipulation, so you can't do things to somebody's fingers or toes. But the other joints, knees, ankles, those are all legal. There's no strikes to the back of the head. There are no throat strikes, and then there are no kicks or knees to the head of a grounded opponent. And a grounded opponent means that the opponent has something other than the soles of his feet touching the mat. So if you have one hand down, and that's it, you're a grounded opponent, and the guy you're in the cage against cannot hit you with his knee or kick you in the head. And then because every fight tonight is an amateur fight, the state of Arkansas also has a rule that there are no elbows to the head at all in amateur MMA.
All right, well, now that we have a basic understanding of some of the rules and things that are going to be going on here tonight, let's go ahead, Aaron, and break down our fight card. The first fight tonight, Adam McClung versus Mike Wilson, both of these guys from Paragould. That should be a great opener for tonight's card. The second fight on our card tonight, Ty Strain, a very odd nickname. They call him the Wiener Dog.
The Wiener Dog.
Not too sure why they call him the Wiener Dog. Maybe we'll find out tonight. His opponent in the second match tonight will be Josh Hickerson. He's fighting out of Ironclad MMA from Blytheville. That one ought to be great as well. Spencer Holyfield will be taking on Brian Wardle in our third match this evening. Brian Wardle likes to go by B-Dubs, which is a little odd given his age, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
He's a 36-year-old fighter out of Little Rock, and I'm not sure how he got that name.
I'm not sure either, but he will be taking on an opponent quite younger than him in Spencer Holyfield, but once again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Our fourth match of the evening, Kendon Smallwood versus Chad Morton. Chad Morton, of course, fighting out of Ironclad MMA in Blytheville as well. And then our fifth match of this evening, Doug Billups will be taking on Keith Willix. That will all lead up to our main event of the evening. Mark Mayhem Manley will be taking on Shane Showtime Bridges in tonight's main event for Cage Combat 3, and that one ought to be a great one. Mark Mayhem Manley fighting out of Blytheville, out of the Ironclad MMA gym, while Shane Bridges fighting out of the Wolfpack MMA gym in Beebe. So all of that coming up for you next here on Tubetown. Once again, our first MMA event ever on Tubetown. This is Caged Combat Championship 3. We'll be back with more after this.
Sometimes less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Reader Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
All right. We're very sorry for the delays. We've had a couple issues going on. We're going to start out tonight with the national anthem sang by Mr. Jaden Webb.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does thy star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free and the home of the brave?
BB Martial Arts.
Welcome back to the BC Lloyd building here in Paragould. We're on the Greene County Fairgrounds, ready for our first match of the night here for Cage Combat Championship 3. Right now, Adam McClung, the Italian Stallion, coming out of the blue corner, touching gloves with Mike Wilson, also from Paragould. There's a leg kick to start off the match, and man, Aaron, I got to go ahead and say Wilson seems to have some size, obviously, on McClung.
He does, but McClung
not
just came out
stopping
with
him.
a nice jab right there.
Yeah, not stopping him from going right at Wilson. And there, attempted a spinning back fist, and now Wilson went in for a grapple, and seems like McClung was able to get away from him.
That's right. He tried to get McClung in a clinch, and he couldn't do it. McClung slipped out of it there.
So now McClung goes to the mat after missing an overhand right, and now Wilson's got
trying
him.
for a rear naked choke. I can't see if he's got it
Got him
locked
in
or
the
not.
triangle
He's got it in
choke. Got him in the triangle choke. McClung trying to fight to get out of it, and he's got it.
He did get
He's
out.
out.
Now he's trying for some ground and pound.
And now he tried to attempt a triangle choke of his own, but now Wilson has him in mounted position.
He's being posted up there in McClung's guard.
And looks like
McClung may be
McClung might
trying
have
for
an
an arm
armbar. Yes, absolutely.
I think he tapped out.
He did. McClung, our first winner of the night via armbar submission, and he was able to do it while Wilson was standing up.
He snuck that in from the bottom and was able to lock it in and make Wilson tap. That was an incredible move right there to get that submission.
I got to be completely honest with you, very unexpected ending to this first matchup.
Adam McClung!
All right, our winner now, let's send it down to the ring. Our man Aaron Hathcock is with our winner, Adam McClung, the Italian Stallion.
With our winner, Adam McClung. How did you manage to sneak that armbar in from the bottom?
It was there and I took it.
Was that part of your game plan? When you came out, it looked like you wanted to go standing with him.
I wanted to do it, he took me to the ground. Went from there, he gave me an arm. I took it.
That was great execution, man. Good luck to you. Congratulations on your win.
All right, there's our man Aaron Hathcock with our first fighter and first victor of the night, Adam McClung. Winner via armbar submission. And, man, kind of wish we had a clock running on that because that was awful quick time in the first round. Next fight coming up, Ty Strange versus Josh Hickerson. We'll have that coming up next on Cage Combat Championship 3 right here on Tubetown.
Sometimes less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Good record?
9-3.
9-3. What's your next fight, you think?
Next fight was supposed to be tonight here in front of all of y'all here in Paragould, but Jimmy Van Horn got into a car wreck last week, I guess, and broke his hand. But I'm looking for the next one, so if anybody here knows of anything, be sure to let me know, because I'm having a hard time finding fights.
All right. Come on in here, Darvin. Draven, I'm sorry, Draven. You want to meet a pro fighter?
He's got a trach. See it?
Yeah, Superman. A lot of you may not know Draven got kicked by a horse and spent some time in the hospital, but it looks like he's back up and doing good. And tonight we're benefiting this fight's for him.
See it?
And as you can tell, he's a big Superman fan. This is a pro MMA fighter. You want to shake his hand? Get a picture with him? Y'all turn around here and get a picture of this man right here, okay? Good job. All right. Put your hands up. Attaboy.
That's awesome.
All right. We wish you all the best and keep getting stronger, buddy. All right. Thank you. That's it. Be careful.
Make no mistake about it. Business is a race. The faster you deliver, the better. These days, old school is getting schooled. Northeast Arkansas is now doing business at quantum speed. Introducing Quantum, only from Ritter Communications. Try to keep up.
Our second fight of this evening, Ty Strange is going to be taking on Josh Hickerson. Aaron, after our first fight, I'm extremely excited about this next one.
We'll have to see what happens in this one. We'll see if the strategy has to be changed in the middle of the match, just like in the last fight. And, man, I'll tell you, that first fight, that amazed me. I sure didn't think he'd try to get that armbar off the bottom like that, but he did, and he got the submission.
Well, you asked him, he said, how'd you do it? And he said, it was there, and I took it. That's one thing I noticed also is, you know, a lot of people don't understand how much training actually goes into cardio. You and I went to the weigh-in yesterday. These guys are up here eating bananas, drinking Pedialyte, running in sauna suits just to try to shave off an extra half pound or something so they can make the cut.
And in that ring, you've got to constantly be thinking and be aware of your position, your opponent's position, and any opportunity like that you can try to seize. If you can seize it and you have the skill, you can do it and catch your opponent off guard if he makes a mistake, and that's exactly what happened in that first fight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, our second fighter making his way to the ring as we speak, Josh Hickerson, 6'1" fighter from Blytheville, Arkansas, fighting out of the Ironclad MMA gym. Once again, his opponent already in the ring, Ty Strang, the Wiener Dog.
The Wiener Dog from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Fighting out of Westside MMA. You know, I'm kind of interested. I hope we get to find out why they call him the Wiener Dog. This is just going to be very interesting, to say the least.
When we talked to Josh yesterday, he talked about he's been fighting about a year, and he prefers boxing and trying to stand up and be a striker. An interesting thing with Josh, he said he's a left-handed fighter, so I want to see how his left-handed, his southpaw style matches up here. It'll be an interesting combination of skills and what's going on, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Says he likes to watch left-handed fighters like Frank Mir, Anderson Silva. Maybe we might see a little bit of the spider come out tonight.
We might. I hope he doesn't try some of the spider's instinctual dodging moves. That might not pay off.
Hopefully not. All right, here we go, getting ready for round one. Ty Strang and Josh Hickerson. Let's send it down to our PA announcer.
MMA, the Wiener Dog, Ty Strang. And in the red corner, fighting out of Blytheville, Arkansas, Ironclad MMA, Josh Hickerson.
All right, our PA announcers has announced the fighters. Now we are all set. Our referee, Tommy Walker, going to get things started in our second fight of the night. And here we go. Both fighters touch gloves, very respectful. Talked to both of these young men yesterday, and they are very respectful. Kind of feeling each other out here in the early rounds. A left and right combo. Strang up against the cage early.
Tried to take him down there. I think Strang is wary of that left-handed shot from Hickerson. You see how he has his hand up guarding his head? I think he's a little bit concerned about it.
Absolutely, and you know, being a right-handed fighter, fighting a southpaw is a little bit different.
Rear naked attempt.
Standing triangle choke. He's got him against the cage. There's a knee to the gut, and Strang is able to get out of it. Very composed.
He spun out of that very well.
Very composed. Oh, and
that was a shot right there.
He attempted a leg kick and caught a strong left to the face. Now, Hickerson up against the cage, and we'll see if Strang can try and work some position.
Takedown here. He's got the single leg.
And Hickerson is blocking it very well, underhooking one arm. Strang still going after a one-leg attempt. And
Strang
Hickerson
needs to be careful and keep his chin tucked too.
Hickerson did a great job of stalling that takedown attempt. Still feeling each other out, and you're definitely right about Strang being wary of that southpaw style of Hickerson.
That was a nice kick.
Very nice kick. Brought Hickerson to the mat, and he took wasted no time attacking as well. But now Hickerson back up to his feet.
And Andy, it appears that might be Strang's strategy, is to try to use leg kicks and take out that front leg of Hickerson and maybe not make that left-handed style as effective.
And obviously Hickerson's got a little bit of height on Strang as well, so that's not a bad idea going for the legs. Keeps you outside of your opponent. You don't have to worry about getting too far inside where you can get eat up by combos like that. Strang did a good job of getting out of that one. Now he's trying to clinch, got him up against the cage, and Hickerson reversed it now. Looked like he was trying for a one-leg takedown.
Both fighters haven't been able to be very successful in their takedown attempts yet. I think they still seem to be able to want to stand it up. And as soon as I say that, Strang takes him down.
Well, I don't know. Was that Strang taking Hickerson down?
Oh,
Hickerson's got the triangle choke.
He's trying to tie that guillotine in.
He's got the guillotine right now. He's got it underneath his chin.
He just needs to lean back into it a little bit more.
Strang doing a great job.
Strang is protecting it, and he's got his chin worked under there a little bit. All the times that Strang has been in trouble in this fight, he's managed to maintain his composure.
And it looks like Strang is bleeding a little bit. We can see some blood on the body of Hickerson there. But Strang doing a great job of staying out of this guillotine chokehold right now. But even with his chin tucked, that is still a very, very hard submission move to get out of, and it suffocates you. It just does, whether he has his arm underneath your chin or not.
And he's got his head bent forward, and that's got that windpipe constricted.
And you can see right now, Strang is running out of gas.
And these guys are both deep into this round, and he's probably wanting to get oxygen to his lungs
there
right
he
now.
goes, Hickerson.
And sure enough, he maintains his composure, though, and manages to get free.
Trying to get half guard right now. Elbow to the face, couple of hammer fists in there, and there is the end of round 1.
Let's see if we can figure out where Strang, I think he's bleeding from his nose.
His cut man surely will be working on that, and it is his nose. His trainer immediately applies cloth to that. So, man, an exciting first round between Ty Strang in the blue corner and in the red corner, Josh Hickerson. Unbelievable stuff. Already seen one submission tonight, almost had another there, but Strang able to get out of it.
He was, like I said, he maintained his composure. I think in this next round, as he wants to stick with the strategy of using leg kicks to try to slow that left-handed assault down. I think he's going to have to keep both his hands up, because he's been being caught every time he goes in.
Once again, it seems like right-handed fighters do have a harder time picking up southpaw opponents because they're just not used to that. When they spar, they're used to sparring with guys that are right-handed like them.
And I didn't get a chance to ask the Wiener Dog if he was able to train against some southpaws in his training camp for this fight or not.
Well, a lot of these guys, we found out at the weigh-in, a lot of the guys didn't even know who they were going to be fighting tomorrow. And some of that's up in the air when you have these amateur fights.
And really, Josh Hickerson told us he thought that being left-handed was going to be an advantage for him. And I gave that first round to him 10-9 because of his aggressiveness, and I think he landed more significant strikes. But I give it to Strang for keeping his composure and getting out of every trouble he was in.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree with you. Got to give it to Hickerson in the first round. Here we go with round 2, and Strang is going back to that kicking strategy that you mentioned, just trying to stay outside of that range of Hickerson. Obviously has the longer reach. Now he gets inside and he eats a couple of blows, goes for the takedown.
There it was, but once again,
he stalled the takedown with the guillotine.
That's
absolutely.
Right. He's attempting to lock that guillotine up again.
And back in the same position he was just in moments ago. We'll see if Strang has the cardio, the endurance to get out of this a second time, because by now he's got to be winded.
But as we go deeper and deeper into the fight, that guillotine's harder and harder to hold if you don't get under the opponent's chin, and Strang gets out of it, because both fighters are slick, because they're sweaty, because they've been working so hard.
He's immediately in half guard right now, trying to work, it appears, to the full mount position. Hickerson doing a great job of blocking that.
And Hickerson looks like he's trying to fight off a possible triangle attempt from Strang. If Strang can get that left arm of Hickerson out of the way, over Hickerson's head, he can possibly lock in that triangle choke.
Well, you have to imagine this is someplace Strang wants to be, on the ground with a taller opponent who does have reach on him. And you see him now throwing shots to the body. Those don't look like they're coming very hard, but if you're taking those shots, you feel every bit of it.
That's right, and he's alternating back and forth between the head and the body. But in the third round, if this fight goes to a third round, all those shots that Hickerson has taken, when he tries to take those deep breaths, when he begins to run out of gas, it's going to take a toll on him. He's going to have a hard time getting some breath.
Strang still in the half mount position, and now going to his legs, now back to the body. Just heard his trainer yell, go back to the body. He was trying to weaken that leg that he's got locked up there a little bit, so maybe he can slip past it and get a full mount position.
That's right. He may want to try to work his knee up inside of the right or the left knee of Hickerson and push that knee down, and then he's able to work his leg up into full mount.
Now, is this one of those occasions where the referee might think about standing the guys up because they've been in this position for so long? Obviously, Strang has been staying busy, but he hasn't been, changing anything up. Is he staying busy enough for the referee to allow him to continue?
I think so, because if you look, see how that Hickerson's trying to roll his hips and roll into what's going on, and Strang is trying to keep him from it, but at the same time work those body punches. And you can see how Hickerson's side is turning red from all the blows.
If Strang can get that right leg out from between Hickerson's, he can easily. There it is,
the
full mount position.
That's exactly what you
But
called.
now Hickerson has, as you mentioned, rolling his hips over, and he's trying to allow Strang to get the back mount position. Obviously, that's a dangerous position to put yourself in, but it's easier to get out of than the one you were just in.
It's the trade-off. You give up your back when you roll like that, but sometimes that's all you can do. And Strang is going to try to sink the rear naked in.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can get it. From our angle, it doesn't look like he has it locked underneath the chin.
And for Hickerson, it may be a case of trying to hang on, I started to say, because we should be close to the end of the round.
As you said, saved by the bell, and we go to the third and final round.
I think this fight's even right now, Andy. I had that round 10-9 for the Wiener Dog, so I have it 19-19 at this point. We'll see what the judges say. I mean, obviously, I'm not a judge, and they don't always see it the way I see it, for sure.
Well, it was certainly, I have to agree with you on all accounts. The first round, Hickerson definitely dominated. It's not that he dominated, but he
was absolutely the aggressor for most of the round.
You're right, cage control. You mentioned at the beginning of the fight, that is one of the things that judges score upon. He had complete control of the cage in the first round. That round, once Strang got out of that initial guillotine, he was in complete control. There was no questioning that.
And even as he got into the guillotine, he initiated the takedown. And so from almost the opening of that round, he was able to have control and in a way dominate Hickerson through most of that round. So this becomes a one and done round now. You win this round, you win the fight. You lose this round, you lose the fight.
Absolutely. Well, you know, they say Wiener Dogs are very mean. They're very aggressive.
Well, let's hope they're tenacious.
Maybe we're finding out why his nickname is the Wiener Dog as we start the third and final round. And I love the respect between the two fighters, touching gloves before we start this final
That's one
round.
of my favorite things about mixed martial arts, the martial arts aspect of it. There's usually a mutual respect.
Absolutely. And you see the two fighters standing up now, not going to the ground. Strong overhand right from Strang lands squarely. Hickerson up against the cage.
Hickerson looks tired.
He does. All those shots to the body in round two. You were right about that. I think his cardio is being affected. All those deep breaths he's trying to take now are very difficult for him.
And he's carrying his hands lower than he did in the first round. Instead of having his hands up to protect his chin, now they're down and his elbows are protecting his sides, which are probably sore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Strang says, come on, bring it. Strong leg kick there.
One of these guys needs to take control of this round, though.
And there's
Strang
a takedown.
may have done it with a takedown.
Absolutely, but now Hickerson up against the cage, and he's in no position to get that guillotine. That's what he tried to block it with, but he just couldn't get it. And now Strang is definitely in a dominant position. If he can get his hands loose, this fight could be over in seconds.
Absolutely. Or if he could figure out the way to he's going to ground and pound up against the cage. But if Hickerson gets off the cage a little bit, it's still an advantage for Strang because I think he's trying to go to the back, it looks like.
Looks like he may be attempting to get that back control once again to try maybe another rear naked choke.
His coach is right there in his face telling Hickerson what to do there.
Well, he is eating a lot of hammer fists, both left and right-handed, and is not in a good position right now. If he hopes to come back and win this fight, he's going to have to do something to get out of the position he's in. And there you see him trying to work his hips, but by this point, Aaron, I think he's just completely gassed.
I think he is too, and he's kind of trapped because he has nowhere to go because it's basically a modified full mount on his
really
side
is.
and his back now as he rolls over and sort of gives up his back.
He has to roll over and give up his back. As you mentioned, it is basically a full
He's
mount.
going to have to defend himself here, or Tommy Walker's going to have to say that's it.
Well, you see the right leg of Strang is just sitting squarely on top of the left leg of Hickerson, and it's just barring him from moving that leg at all. He can't twist his hips or change position at all.
No,
and I think
has
you're right
no
about
leverage.
I think you're right. Look at
Look
Strang.
at Strang. He's like, come on, dude, call the
Strang
fight.
is looking
He's not
at the
defending
referee.
himself. But Strang seems to have a little bit of fight left in him.
And
or Hickerson, rather.
Hickerson is trying to fight off a rear naked choke once again here in the third and final round. And it seems like he's out of the guillotine, but now he's given up his back completely, and it's going to be difficult for him to get out of this. And there's 10 seconds left in this round, I believe. We just heard the mark. Strang dominating this fight so far, and there is the bell, the horn rather, and our second fight has ended. We will send it down to the ring momentarily for our winner, and Aaron Hathcock will have a post-fight interview. When we come back, this is Cage Combat Championship fighting right here on Tubetown.
Sometimes less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
All right, just finished our second fight of the night. Ty Strang and Josh Hickerson. Let's send it down to the ring to announce our winners.
And your winner, by unanimous decision, the Weirdo, Cassie!
All right, real quick, let's get a word with your winner, Ty Strang. Yes, sir. So, Winter Dog, tell me, you came out a little bit slow in that first round. It looked like you maybe wanted to try to use some kicks and slow down the fact that he's a southpaw. But in the second and third rounds, once you established a takedown, it seemed like you were able to dominate the fight. Was that your plan as you moved through the fight?
No, actually, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about him before. My first opponent didn't show up, but thankfully Josh and me got matched up. Still, it was an honor to fight him, and we didn't expect a southpaw. But you know what? I have the best training partners over at Westside MMA, and you know what? All the other people who have harmed me in martial arts over the years, from when I was at UT high school, Chang Lee's Taekwondo to MMA over in Austin with Sean Cooper, Rolly, Matt, and Coach Billy here in Westside. Yeah, I just got to figure out what to do, got to flow, and that's why I was able to win, because of them.
Well, it definitely looked like you were able to modify your strategy through the fight. So congratulations on your win, and good luck in the future.
Oh, also, hey, I want to say, my girlfriend came all the way up here from Austin, Texas, Miss Michaela Cowan. Thank you so much, babe.
Congratulations, brother.
A little change to our fight card as we welcome you back here to Caged Combat Championship 3 here on Tubetown. Andy Maness and Aaron Hathcock sitting cage side with you tonight. And once again, getting ready for our third fight. Kendon Smallwood, he's going to be taking on Chad Morton. This fight was scheduled to be the fourth of this evening, but they're going to bump it up and make it the third fight of the night. So once again, Kendon Smallwood, he'll be taking on Chad Morton. Chad Morton fighting out of the Ironclad MMA gym in Blytheville. Got several of those guys here tonight. But with that said, let's go ahead and send it down to our PA announcer. He'll announce the fighters for this next match.
Introducing first in the blue corner, fighting from Iron Fist MMA, Kendon Smallwood. And his opponent in the red corner, from Ironclad MMA, Blytheville, Arkansas, this is Chad Morton.
All right, Andy Maness and Aaron Hathcock back with you here cage side for the Cage Combat Championships 3 event right here in the BC Lloyd building. Getting ready for our third fight of the night. In the blue corner, Kendon Smallwood getting ready to take on Chad Morton out of the red corner. Fighters touch gloves, and here we go. Couple of early strikes there, and now the two clinch in the middle of the ring. Morton seems to have a small size advantage on Smallwood, but man, Smallwood obviously you see there,
right there.
He is absolutely pure muscle, as you saw with the takedown.
He definitely came in good shape for this fight.
No doubt about it, and now it appears Morton was attempting to get back position, and Smallwood just flipped him over.
He did. Morton even had a hook in on one side, and Smallwood just flipped him over.
And now he's got side control and hammer fist to the top of the head. And it looks like Morton trying to do a little work from the bottom as well. And he just slipped guard so easy there. And now Morton, his only goal now is to keep Smallwood pinned up against him. That's the only thing he can do right now outside to get out of it. Because if Smallwood gets up, this fight could be over in a mere matter of seconds.
Absolutely. But it didn't take long for Smallwood. We didn't know a lot about Kendon Smallwood coming into this fight, and it didn't take him long to go for a takedown and try to take this fight to the ground.
It sure didn't at all.
And on top of that, he came out as our second southpaw fighter of the night, too.
So, you know, you could be seeing Morton having a little bit of trouble with that.
And we know from talking to Chad Morton yesterday that he would prefer to keep this fight on his feet. He said that while on the ground and pound is one of his specialties, that he prefers Muay Thai as one of his bases. So,
well, he is getting hammer-fisted right now from a full mount position, and he's going to have to do something quickly. And as you see him there,
he clinches and holds Smallwood back to him.
That's
again.
the best thing for him to do right now if he can't get out of it.
Trying to bridge up and roll his hips over to maybe get some advantage to get out of this.
If he can just maybe slide one of his legs in between Smallwood.
And look at that. Look at that reverse
him
into
over
the guard of Smallwood.
Into the full guard. So now Morton just completely flips the script here in the first round. Around a minute left to go here in round one.
And he flared his left leg up to try to push that right leg down of Smallwood to try to get into half guard and maybe pass all the way to side control.
Well, he has absolutely he has went from bad position to excellent position
He's
in a matter of
much better
seconds.
position now. I don't understand, though, Andy, why he tried to go to attempt to get half guard on that side up against the cage. It seems like it'd been more advantageous to go on the other side of Smallwood, where he could shift to side control if maybe he had the ability to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right now, Smallwood on his back, using the cage to try and flip himself over, and he almost got Morton that time. Now Morton, you see, is putting a lot of weight on that left side to try to keep Smallwood from reversing this hold right now.
Absolutely, he's trying to take all that leverage away from Smallwood.
If he can get him away from the cage, I think absolutely his position would be a lot better, because obviously we've seen sheer strength out of Smallwood thus far. There's no question in my mind that he could absolutely flip Morton over as the horn sounds. Very even fight. Tough
to
call this round.
Man, I'm not sure how you decide that round.
Well, it's a good thing we're doing this and we're not judges.
Absolutely, I'm glad I don't have that judge's job. Honestly, I think you may have to lean toward Morton for that round, because of the combination of defense by reversing that position from being on the bottom to going to guard and having some dominating things at the end. But that's a very, very close round, and that round really could go either way in the eyes of the judges.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Some exciting fights thus far tonight. We've seen one via submission. We've seen one unanimous decision. I guess it's only a matter of time before someone gets KO'd.
Well, we may very well see a knockout before the end of the night. Sometimes just a slip or a mistake or a miscalculation by a fighter is all it takes. You could probably ask Anderson Silva a lot about that right about now.
Absolutely.
As he recently fell victim to the left hand of Chris Weidman, and we had the middleweight championship change hands in the UFC for the first time in 7 years.
Unbelievable stuff as we get ready here for our second round.
Well, let's see if these guys' coaches gave them any instructions that may change their strategy as they go through this fight, kind of like what we saw in that last fight from the Wiener Dog.
Absolutely. Ty Strain getting a victory, unanimous decision in the last fight. Now, the second round here, and here we go. The fighters coming out, meeting in the middle of the cage.
Smallwood's changed to conventional stance now. He's going back to the right.
And he immediately has back control on Morton. Morton flips him over, and he dodges a big right hand from Morton and a takedown from Smallwood.
Smallwood slipped backwards out of that attempted hook from Morton and then went right at him with a double leg takedown and took him right to his back.
You know, I've been extremely impressed with Smallwood's strength so far, but I've got to give credit to Morton right now on his quickness. He is a lot quicker than I thought he would be, as you see.
He just took a shot on the ground,
too. A big hammer fist from Smallwood.
You know, and as we mentioned, that Chad Morton said that he likes ground and pound. For a lot of this fight, he's been on the wrong end of the ground and pound.
He has indeed. He has indeed. And right now, Smallwood's got him back in full mounted position once again. And
there's a lot of strength that Morton's going to expend in that first round and in this round if he can get away again. We've still got a couple of minutes left in this round. And that early in the round, that's a tough place to be for the second round in a row.
No doubt about it. And now Smallwood just throwing blows as Morton is trying to get out of this position and at least give Smallwood his back. Smallwood maintaining full mount position, and there Morton clinches again.
And I think Morton's bleeding from his nose a little bit now.
He is indeed, as we see there.
Smallwood almost made a mistake, though, as Morton tried to roll his hips over again, and he had gotten his center of gravity up a little too high, and he almost got bucked off. He was able to correct it before it got happened, but now he's gone to the half guard.
Absolutely. He managed to evade that full mount position that he's been in for, I don't want to say a majority of this fight, but at this point it almost has been a majority that he's been on his back.
Maybe a little over half the fight at this point.
So Smallwood still doing some work in the side mount position. He's got half mount.
And Smallwood just keeps on with those hammer fists.
And those can't feel good. Cannot feel good, I can't imagine. You see right there, Smallwood.
I'm sure they don't tickle.
Smallwood has got his left leg between Morton's. Morton, that's the only thing he can do right now is hold that leg and try and control Smallwood's body as best as he can.
Something else that Smallwood's not doing, Andy, if you'll notice, he's grinding his hand and his forearm over Morton's mouth and nose and making it even more difficult for Morton to breathe.
And surely only worsening that nosebleed that's going on right now. And
Morton needs to defend himself here.
Because he's just getting hammer
fisted. But that's an illegal blow.
Death.
He can't hit him in the back of the head like that. No strikes to the back of the head. Now he's going for a triangle choke. And Morton taps out. Morton taps out to the triangle choke.
25 seconds left in the second round, the third fight of the night. Kendon Smallwood is the winner via triangle choke over Chad Morton. We'll send it down to Aaron Hathcock with our fighter momentarily. We'll be back with more Cage Combat Championship fighting right here on Tubetown.
Make no mistake about it. Business is a race. The faster you deliver, the better. These days, old school is getting schooled. Northeast Arkansas is now doing business at quantum speed. Introducing Quantum, only from Ritter Communications. Try to keep up.
And your winner by in-arm triangle, Kendon Smallwood!
Real quick, let's talk to our winner, Kendon Smallwood. Spent a lot of that fight in the top position, Kendon, and then you slipped that triangle in there. Can you tell us a little bit about how you did that?
That was God. That wasn't me. That was all God. Thanks to him. Wouldn't be here without him. Took a lot of training. Roger, especially. Thank God for him. All my friends over there. Ron Miller, all you guys. Parents, family, mom, love you. Love all you guys, and thanks. That's it. Yeah.
Well, man, you're starting to put up a good effort tonight. Congratulations to you.
Welcome back to the BC Lloyd building here in Paragould. Andy Maness and Aaron Hathcock sitting cage side, getting ready for our fourth fight of the night. Three exciting ones already, Aaron.
Absolutely. Two finishes and a really, really close decision, I think.
Absolutely. Two submissions and a unanimous decision, as you just mentioned. Let's go over those. Let's go over that fight card very quickly, if you will. Our first fight of the night, Adam McClung gets a first-round victory over Mike Wilson, and it had to be within the first minute and 30 seconds. Got the submission via armbar and the victory as well.
From the bottom, no less.
Absolutely, yeah. Caught the arm and was able to get him in an armbar. The second fight of the night, the wiener dog, Ty Strain, gets a victory over Josh Hickerson. As you mentioned, a very close fight. It was very difficult to, pick a winner out of that, but the third round, I think, really solidified it. The wiener dog's victory there.
That's right. The wiener dog had the stamina tonight, I think. His cardio was better.
He got the unanimous decision.
I should call him the cardio wiener dog.
Absolutely. And then in the third round, the third match of the night, Kendon Smallwood over Chad Morton, and man, that was an exciting fight. Probably the most exciting fight we've had. They've gone up in intensity.
Absolutely.
The
and
further we go on in the card.
That.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
A lot of ground and pound from both guys. Chad Morton with an incredible escape from full mount, flipped it over, and he was in full mount for a moment in that first round. and then he got taken down and got dominated again and finally got caught in a triangle choke.
And the worst part about it, he only had to last 25 more seconds.
I know.
For the round to be over. 2:35 was the mark that Kendon Smallwood won via triangle submission. And now we're getting ready for our fourth fight of the night. Spencer Holyfield's going to be taking on Brian Wardle. We'll send it down to the ring for our PA announcer momentarily.
All right, introducing first, out of the blue corner, from Paragon, Arkansas, get loud for Spencer Holyfield!
Wow. Booing the hometown boy.
And his opponent in the red corner, I think he's got some fans here, from Little Rock, Arkansas, representing Westside MMA, B-Dubs, Brian Wardle!
Back here at the BC Lloyd building, Andy Manis, Aaron Hathcock sitting cage side, our fourth fight of the night. In the blue corner, we've got Spencer Holyfield, who apparently doesn't have any fans with him here. He'll be taking on Brian Wardle, who apparently brought his entire crew, and they let Spencer Holyfield know right off the bat.
And that may be the case, that B-Dub's fan base may be bigger than anybody who's rooting for the hometown boy, Spencer Holyfield.
Maybe so. A spinning back fist attempt by Holyfield has now got him pinned up against the cage.
Muay Thai clinch there by Holyfield, trying to get that knee in.
And
you know,
Wardle's doing a good job of getting out of everything Spencer's throwing at him so far.
That's right, but Spencer, he keeps coming. He just keeps marching forward and trying to push the pace
and
here.
He is loving those kicks. He's done several full front kicks since the match has started. And, man, this is just going to be very interesting. Honestly, the most interesting part about this fight as the two trade blows, Brian Wardle, 36 years old. Spencer Holyfield, 17.
Yeah, not only do we have a contrast of styles maybe here, but we have a contrast of generations, it looks like.
Absolutely. Well, the fighters still seem to be feeling each other out. Wardle tried to slip an uppercut in there, but
that's a vicious leg kick,
ate
two in a row to the knee.
Leg kicks, absolutely.
And
there's
goes
the third.
for the third one. Those do a lot of damage, Andy.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think that takes all your power of being able to jump and spring off that leg. It just takes a lot of power out of that leg. And now Holyfield up against the fence.
And not only that, after a while, it'll start to whelp up and bruise, and you won't even hardly be able to bear as much weight on that leg.
Absolutely.
And that takes away your ability to cut your opponent off with angles. It takes away your ability to have a base. Nice one-leg takedown there by B-Dubs.
And Brian Wardle has got Holyfield up against the cage now. But Holyfield has an arm hooked, so Wardle not able to get much position. But now he's got Holyfield flat on his back, and he's got him in side mount position.
Holyfield tried to post up with that left arm, and B-Dubs just pulled his arm out from under him and took that base away from him, and was able to get him all the way to side mount now.
Absolutely. I was going to say he actually shifted from half guard. I said side mount, half guard now into the side mount, and there's a vicious left elbow.
There, and he wanted to turn it over right there and use those knees and use his knees and his elbows to pinch together and maybe get a little more control over Holyfield.
The Muay Thai clinch that Wardle had a moment ago. It seems like both of these fighters are going to be throwing knees and throwing leg kicks, so there's going to be a lot of Muay Thai fighting style here, I would assume.
It looks like maybe a contrast of the guy who favors Muay Thai versus the guy who maybe favors kickboxing.
Kickboxing, absolutely. Absolutely. Seen a lot of that so far here in the first round. Got to be nearing the end of the first round as Holyfield flat on his back continues to eat knees from Wardle, and Wardle still maintaining that side mount position. And
he's got Holyfield pinned up against the cage. He's trying to roll out of it now, but see, he bridged his hips up there. B-Dubs did, and he was able to stifle that. But then Holyfield stands up.
He used the cage to his advantage.
He was able to put his weight against that cage and use it as a little bit of leverage to push up against.
And now it looks like we are getting ready for the end of the first round. There's the horn. Our PA announcer almost opened the door before the fight was over there. I was kind of wondering what he was doing. So, you know, very even first round there between Holyfield and Wardle. I would have to say I'd give the advantage to Wardle because he maintained that top position.
I think so. I think he had a little bit more control over the majority of that round. But if these next two rounds are as close as that one, this could be a difficult fight to decide, that's for sure.
Spencer Holyfield in the blue corner right now. Brian Wardle in the red corner.
Both these guys receiving instructions and some tips for the next round from their coaches.
And really, so far, Aaron, the only thing I've seen really that's different from these two fighters, as you mentioned, one may prefer Muay Thai, one may prefer kickboxing, but honestly, they're very similar in height, obviously very similar in weight. The only difference here is age.
And that's
and
right.
you have to wonder if that will play a factor into this sport. Obviously, other sports, age is always a big factor, but when it comes to MMA, age can actually be an advantage.
That's right. There's a little bit of experience, a little bit of craftiness there maybe, and it comes down as much to how much you train your cardio as anything. So we'll see whose cardio holds up. But these guys seem to have a fairly even matched set of skills, both on the ground and standing up. So,
and they seem like they want to keep it standing up.
I think so. I think they'll both want to take advantage of a takedown if they can come across it, though. But once again, Holyfield goes back to that kick, to that right above that left knee area of B-dubs.
And Wardle, I mean, the only thing he can do is block it. If he throws one up near the midsection, though, Wardle could attempt a takedown via grabbing the leg, but that's
right.
awful risky. Awful risky. The two trade blows there. Looked like Holyfield was able to get out.
Depending on how much Wardle feels about his punching power, he could grab that leg and drive in with a straight right cross.
Well, Wardle looked like he wanted to take advantage of Holyfield's slip there. Holyfield threw a big punch and missed, and he fell to the mat. He was able to recover himself very quickly. Wardle unable to capitalize on that slip. He lands a vicious combo, though.
Back and forth.
And now Wardle has Holyfield pinned up against the cage. Looks like he's got one arm hooked.
He's got that. Well, Holyfield's trying to get that underhook there.
Holyfield now. Well, I was going to say it looked like he was trying for a guillotine. There. We'll see if Wardle can get him off of the cage here and put him to the mat. Right now, Holyfield has got the position. I mean, he's just holding it right there, and Wardle can't do anything. We'll see if
Wardle's
referee
just fending
Tommy
off
Walker.
the takedown. He's got that overhook. Well, he changed it now to around the neck, but they let the clinch go. Wardle's coach is yelling instruction at him. Oh, Holyfield thought about a back fist there.
It looked like he thought about it.
He loaded that up, but he decided against it, and I think that may have been a good move on his part.
I think he's glad he put that one back in his holster. I think you're absolutely right about that.
Because he showed it just a little bit too long.
Big right hand from Wardle lands on Holyfield. Holyfield back up against the cage once again, trying to push Wardle off, and now he just goes out to meet him. These two not scared of each other at all. Holyfield back up against the cage now, and you got to wonder, we talk about age considering this match, you talk about experience.
Guillotine, but Wardle got
gets
that
the
one leg takedown and threw him down and was able to fend that off.
But it looks like Holyfield still has one arm around Wardle's neck. It's a bit difficult to see from this angle.
He does. He has it over the top.
And
there.
obviously you can't get a choke from that angle, but it does put your opponent in a bad position. There's a huge knee to the midsection of Holyfield, and that cannot have felt good.
And I started to say as we come with about 40 seconds left in this round that Wardle may want to be like that because Holyfield can't do anything else, and his whole entire left side was open, and he put that big knee right up on his ribs right there.
Well, Holyfield looks like he's cocking up for another knee to the midsection. If he can. It's a bit difficult right now because Holyfield is in position to move his hips if Wardle attempts that knee kick.
And right there, I don't think the referee could see it, but there was a short grab, and that's illegal in mixed martial arts.
Holyfield with his head up against the cage now. See him trying to create some leverage. Anything he can do to keep Wardle from just smothering him right now, and that seems to be Wardle's strategy with 10 seconds left here in this round, just trying to take as much breath out of Holyfield as he can before the end of the round. And there's the horn. We're two through this, and I've got to say it looks like Wardle is in control of this fight. It's not that Holyfield has done anything wrong. He's just been in a bad position for the majority.
He hasn't done as much right is what it's appeared to us.
Absolutely.
From our position over here.
Well, I have to give Holyfield credit for someone his age. I mean, he's putting up an excellent fight for someone who's obviously a little bit more seasoned and experienced to the sport.
That's right. But we also, one thing, because we didn't get a chance to talk to either one of these guys, we really don't know how much experience in the cage either one of them has.
Absolutely. Age doesn't mean everything. It all adds up to experience in that octagon right now. So you see both of the fighters getting training right now from their cutting in. Nobody's been cut so far in this match, which is surprising.
Wardle's left eye, right above his left eye, there's a little something red, and the cut lady who's attending to fighters tonight seemed to pay that a little bit of attention. Looks like it's got a little bit of a swelled up area, like you said, like a mouse.
We'll see if Holyfield can make something happen in this third round. As we just mentioned, Aaron, in my opinion, I think he's going to have to win this round. Not win the round, win the fight in this round.
I think he's got to finish the fight.
Absolutely.
I believe, now the judges may have seen something different, especially in that first round, but I think, on my card anyway, I think that Holyfield is going to have to finish the fight in this third and final round if he wants to win.
I agree. Tommy Walker says, let's go, and here we go. They touch gloves, and round number 3 is underway. Brian Wardle in the green trunks, black trim. Holyfield in the black trunks, white trim.
Nice
he caught a
jab
strong,
right there to Holyfield's chin.
Strong left hand to the face of Holyfield.
That wobbled Holyfield just a little bit.
Absolutely.
But he
nice
goes back to that leg kick again.
And Wardle took a shot there, but he gets inside Holyfield once again. Holyfield up against the cage now. We'll see what he can do to get out of this. He's got his arm locked around Wardle's neck right now. If he can manage to get some position, he has an opportunity to attempt a guillotine.
But there's Wardle fending it up by pushing his arm away. He's trying to sneak his leg in there, or his hand in there, and pick that leg up for a takedown, but Holyfield made him think better of it with a knee to the chest.
Holyfield, we'll see if he continues to work the leg kicks. Tries to lead in with a left jab right there. And he caught Wardle.
Wardle looks a little wobbled.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's trying to run a little bit, it looks like, to get his senses back.
He caught a big shot from Holyfield. There's another kick to the midsection.
Honestly, that's what Holyfield's going to have to do at this point, because I think he's behind on the cards.
And now Wardle has Holyfield up against the cage. Now Spencer Holyfield needs to turn into Evander Holyfield here in the last minute and 30 seconds of this fight if he wants to win. Wardle, all he's got to do is bide his time, and that's what he appears to be doing, just catching his breath up against the cage. A bit hard to do as Spencer Holyfield has his arm one hook underneath Wardle right now, but it appears Wardle could be attempting a one-leg takedown.
And that's exactly what he tried to go for, and Holyfield was able to keep his balance and fight that off. Because that's the last place in this last round that Holyfield wants to do, is end up on his back.
And he's looking at his trainer right now for any sort of guidance that he could get in the last minute of this round. The third and final round between Spencer Holyfield and Brian Wardle. And Wardle has been in control. Holyfield up against the cage. Neither one of these fighters staying very busy. I'm surprised that Tommy Walker hasn't done anything about this yet, but
there's just enough activity in his mind, it appears, that he wants to keep it going.
Well, right now, you see Holyfield there with both arms underneath the head of Wardle, and it looks like he's got it.
Locked in.
He has got it. He has got it locked in. Wardle is going to have to
fight
pick
it up.
He slipped out of it. Oh, it caught a big right hand when he slipped out.
He did catch a right on the way out. But that's what we were talking about earlier in a previous fight. I think Wardle's still a little bit wobbly there. He still doesn't quite have his legs under him.
Holyfield's got his arms down. He just doesn't care right now in the last 18 seconds.
He's got to go
big
for
right
it now.
hand. There's another one. Big left
Here we are in
straight.
the final 10 seconds.
Left jab, right jab. And Holyfield needs to close in fast. Wardle, big right hand misses, and there's the horn. I've got to give that third and final round, no doubt, to Spencer Holyfield, but too little, too late,
That's
I'm afraid.
Exactly right.
I think Brian Wardle, you see him right now with his hands raised in victory. I think he will be the victor.
As soon as they tally up the scores, we'll find out. But that was a valiant effort in the third round to try to finish it from Spencer Holyfield, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. Well, we will find out what the judges scored this momentarily. When we come back, we'll send our man Aaron Hapcock down to the ring with a post-fight interview with the winner. When we return, this is Cage Combat Championship right here on Tubetown.
Sometimes less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Your winner by majority decision, B-Dubs, Brian Wardle.
both 0-0. I think this production company for putting this together because it was a great fight to get 2 0-0 guys out there and give them an opportunity. But yeah, I did have to change my approach a little bit. I thought he was going to gas out a little bit sooner than he did. My conditioning really kept me on top of it, though. Last round, I took a couple too many shots, but that's just part of it getting in a fight.
Well, it's a good fight by both of you guys. Congratulations on your win, and good luck in the future.
Sometimes, less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Reader Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Welcome back to Cage Combat Championship 3 right here on Tubetown. Andy Manus, Aaron Hathcock sitting cage side with you. Man, it's been a great night so far.
It has been, and we've still got 2 more fights to go on this great card. I don't know, at this point in the night, I think that last fight between Brian Wardle and Spence Holyfield was going to be my fight of the night so far.
I mean, I can't disagree with you so far. As you just mentioned, 2 still to go, 4 in the books. But, man, it's been an exciting night so far. If you're just joining us, you just missed a majority decision. Brian Wardle, the 36-year-old 0-0 fighter, taking on Spencer Holyfield, a 17-year-old 0-0 fighter.
I have to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised that was a majority decision and not a unanimous decision.
Well, and as you and I discussed, it seemed like Brian Wardle won the first 2 rounds, and then Holyfield had clearly an opportunity to win the third.
But that's why there's a famous saying that says don't leave it in the hands of the judges. And sometimes that's why, because you get judges that see things that you don't expect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We saw that there. Once again, a majority decision. Brian Wardle gets the victory over Spencer Holyfield. Getting ready for our 5th fight. One that was scratched and then re-added and then scratched and re-added again.
This is the yo-yo match of the night
here. The yo-yo match. Finally, we've got it sorted out. Paragold's own Doug Billups, a.k.a. Chico, is going to be taking on Keith Willix. We'll send it down to our PA announcer momentarily to announce the fighters.
All right. If I could have a favorite fighter, this guy could be one of them. Fighting out of the blue corner, the man with a leg of iron, Doug Chico Phillips. And his opponent in the red corner, Keith Willix.
Andy Manus, Aaron Hathcock back with you here ringside, getting ready for our 5th fight of the night. In the blue corner, Chico Doug Billups taking on Keith Willix out of the red corner.
It's a couple sizable men in the ring there.
Absolutely. This is definitely a heavyweight matchup. Referee Tommy Walker says let's go, and there's a big leg kick to start the fight from Billups.
You get the feeling from the ring announcer that that Chico is gonna do a lot of kicking.
Absolutely. He called him the man with the iron leg. And both guys swinging and missing. A big right hand took Willix down, and he is on top of it.
Right on top of Willix. Willix is going to have to defend himself, or Tommy Walker's going to have to stop it.
He's going to have to do something soon, because at this point, right now, Billups is on top. He is attacking him. And Willix is covering up. He's covering up as best as he can, and he's going to call it right there.
And he does.
Referee Tommy Walker stops it.
Maybe 20 seconds into the fight there.
And Willix is a bit confused
Willix seems to be like, what happened? I thought we were going to fight.
He must have missed it. We'll go ahead and take a quick break as a great show of sportsmanship in the ring there. When we come back, we'll send it down to the PA announcer, and Aaron Hathcock will have a post-fight interview with our man Doug Billups after this.
Sometimes less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Your winner by TKO from the blue corner, Chico!
Let's talk to our winner, Doug Billups, here for just a minute. Right there for me, man. So you came right out and just took it right to him and finished the fight with a lot of ground and pound. Was that your plan to come out and do that right off the bat?
Well, not really. I kind of like to keep it standing, but take a win any way I can get it. Just handle the business.
Well, you certainly took him down with that shot and then just went after him.
Yeah. I saw the chance to take it, and I took it. Give these people what they came to see.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the first stoppage of the night.
From Bellator UFC, Austin Lyons, come on in. And from Global Proving Grounds, I think we've heard of him, Enoch Bricker. Come November, I think these two are going to strap it up. Enoch, did you just accept a challenge?
Yeah, pending, Global Proving Ground, what they say about the contract and everything, I'm more than willing to step up and fight Austin. He's a great fighter, and it'd be a great test.
Austin, you know Enoch, you know of his style?
A little bit. No, he's a tough guy, and hopefully he won't be the type to get, like I said, car wreck and back out a week before. No, he's a tough guy, and look forward to fighting.
Well, I promise you, Enoch don't back out of fight, so this should be a good one. November, come see it right here. How about a pose, boys? Stare it down. All right. That will be a good one, I promise you.
Welcome back to the BC Lloyd Building. Andy Maness, Aaron Hathcock sitting cage side for Cage Combat Championship 3 right here in Paragould. Aaron, it's been an exciting night all night long, but it's all leading up to what we're about to go through right now.
That's right.
The main event of the evening.
The main event.
Absolutely. Well, before we get to that main event, Aaron, you and I actually had a chance to sit down with these two guys yesterday and kind of pick their brains a little bit. Here's what Mark Manley and Shane Bridges had to say about both of their fights tonight.
Stand up with him.
Go ahead, Aaron. You going to stand up with him after all that jiu-jitsu training?
Yeah, well, we both got jiu-jitsu, so whatever happens, happens.
What belt are you?
My uncle, he got me started into jiu-jitsu, and he passed away. And so I've been, sticking to that. And my grandfather passed away recently, and he wanted me to go pro and make something, so that's my plan.
It's kind of gave you fuel to your fire.
Yes, sir.
So is jiu-jitsu your base? Is that what you feel like it's your base?
Jiu-jitsu is my strong point, but my kickboxing is coming really good. Yeah, I would rather take it to the ground, but if I want to stand up, if it's going to be a stand-up bang, I'm going to stand up and fight. I heard he's really tough. I really don't know much about him, but I heard he's a real tough guy, and it's going to give me a fight.
The main event of the evening. Introducing first in the blue corner, from Ironclad MMA, Blytheville, Arkansas, Mark Mayhem Manley. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, from Wolfpack MMA, Showtime, Shane Bridges.
Andy Manus, Aaron Hathcock back with you here, cage side in the BC Lloyd building.
This is the main event.
We'll send it back down to the referee, Tommy Walker.
Red corner questions. Touch gloves now if you want.
All right, lots of respect between these two guys. In the blue corner, Mark Mayhem Manley. In the blue corner, we've got Shane Showtime Bridges. Our main event of the evening, Aaron.
I've been looking forward to this fight all night long.
You and I both, brother. Tommy Walker says, get it on, and here we go. The two fighters square up in the middle of the octagon. Strong leg kick out of the gate from Bridges. Manley able to get him in a clinch. Now Bridges up against the cage, and there's an armbar attempt.
Takedown. But look at Manley with a superior position.
Absolutely.
Trying to get a little mayhem wreaked on Showtime there.
Showtime catches the knee, and now attempting a one-legged takedown. Nice block by
Manley
Mayhem.
Blocked that with his leg. That was a nice way to stuff that takedown attempt.
Absolutely,
right
and now they'll kind of regain their bearings. Kick missed from Manley. Fighters still trying to feel each other out here in the first minute of the first round. Big left hand misses.
And you know, Andy, I'd expect both these 135-pounders to keep a pretty quick pace throughout this entire fight, and they've displayed that already.
Absolutely, and there's a nice catch there from Showtime, able to catch that foot, unable to capitalize on it.
He tried to shoot in for the takedown, and he got stuffed.
Both fighters very elusive, they've proven so far. Big kick to the head, dodged by Manley.
Those are two big swings they both missed. They both ducked under each other's haymaker.
Now Manley trying to get good position. He's up against the cage now, but he's got both arms hooked of Showtime. Now he's able to flip it around, and now Showtime, Shane Bridges, up against the cage. Big uppercut there from Manley. Big kick there from Showtime. These fighters not taking any time getting to know each other, are they?
No, they're not. They're getting up close and personal. And there's an attempt at a guillotine from his back there by Manley.
He doesn't look like he has it completely locked in. He only has, if you look, Shane has his right arm blocking the guillotine attempt. If he doesn't have that right arm there, Manley has got that locked in.
That's right. He'll have the ability to work his arm under his chin and would be able to sink that in fully and cut off that blood supply.
Very nice job there by Bridges. He's able to slip into half mount, but now look at Manley back at the guillotine, and now they stand up and back
right back down.
Right back where they were.
He's back down with the guard there. His leg up high on Bridges.
Able to slip into side control there, or excuse me, half guard.
Should be in the final minute of the round here. Exciting round, first round.
Absolutely.
And Showtime is trying to look at that, those fists to the side of the face.
And if he is able to get his left leg through
and
right
he
there.
Goes right there to full
mount, and he is on top now. Full punches to the head,
and it's
and
done.
Mark Manley is done, and you just saw referee Tommy Walker had to catch our man Shane Bridges because he was about to lay the hammer down once again.
That was a nice save by Tommy Walker right there because
that one extra punch.
Because Mark Manley was just about to, he's still down in the ring and not sure where he is. He may not even be awake yet.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable fight. The first round, and Shane Bridges takes down Mark Manley. Unbelievable stuff. We'll send our man Aaron Hathcock down momentarily once Mark Manley is checked on, make sure he's okay and everything. But Aaron Hathcock will go down to the octagon. He'll have an interview with Shane Showtime Bridges when we return after this.
Make no mistake about it. Business is a race. The faster you deliver, the better. These days, old school is getting schooled. Northeast Arkansas is now doing business at quantum speed. Introducing Quantum, only from Ritter Communications. Try to keep up.
Let's talk to our winner, Showtime Shane Bridges. Man, that was a fast-paced fight, back and forth all the way, and then you hit that one big shot and then the ground and pound. Were you looking for that for the entire fight?
Yeah, I was looking for a stand-up battle, and, I mean, he gave it, so I took it to the ground and gave it to him. But, I mean, he's a good fighter, and I'd like to thank my coaches, everybody here, Master Webb, everybody, Pugsley, everybody. Thank y'all.
Great fight, great way to finish the evening. Congratulations.
Sometimes Less is more. But when it comes to HD choices, more is more. That's why Ritter Communications is working hard to deliver more HD choices than ever. To serve you better, we've added lots of new HD channels, more sports, movies, and entertainment. With our growing selection of HD choices, we think you'll agree, more is more. Call or visit Ritter online to get connected.
Welcome back to the BC Lloyd Building for Cage Combat Championship 3. Andy Maness here with Aaron Hathcock. Man, Aaron, we just watched one of the best fights of the night.
Man, I'll tell you what.
If it wasn't the best.
It was right up there. It definitely had some of the most excitement. It was the best knockout of the night for sure.
Absolutely.
By no doubt or any shade of the imagination, that was knockout of the night for sure.
Absolutely. Shane Bridges with a knockout victory over Mark Mayhem Manley. And it came with just seconds left, it seemed, in the first round. Very quick pace to that matchup, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And as you mentioned, it had to be the fight of the night. Well, not the fight of the night, but the knockout of the night. We'll talk about fight of the night in just a moment.
That's right. I think there's another candidate for fight of the night overall.
You're absolutely right about that. We'll go ahead and run through our fight card one more time for those of you just joining us here at the end of our broadcast. The first fight tonight, Adam McClung got an armbar submission on Mike Wilson. That one ended in the first round. That one started off the night perfectly. We knew once that one was over. We knew once that one was over, it was going to be a great night.
That's exactly right.
The second fight of the night, the Wiener Dog, Ty Strang.
What a nickname. That's awesome.
With a victory, a unanimous decision over Josh Hickerson from Blytheville. That one just led up to the third fight of the night, which that one went very quick as well. It ended in the second round, it seemed like. But these two big guys, they were moving around like these 135-pound guys we saw.
They showed a lot of mobility in the ring, definitely.
Kendon Smallwood and Chad Morton, the two fighters we were referring to. A couple of heavyweights. I believe Chad Morton weighed somewhere around the 200 mark. Smallwood was around 195, so obviously very similar, but, man, a couple of big guys duking it out.
That's right.
Kendon Smallwood able to land a triangle submission at the 235 mark in the second round, getting the victory.
And that would have to be my vote for submission of the night.
I think it had. I think it has to. Well, no, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. The armbar from Adam McClung.
The armbar from the bottom was impressive, but
I think that one is very impressive.
And I had to debate with myself about that, but I think really the way he threw that triangle choke on there, because he wasn't looking for it. You know, when I interviewed him up at the ring, he pointed out that I wasn't looking for that choke, but it was there, and so I took it. So the fact that he sprung it on him like that, I think, is why I vote for that as submission of the night.
Difference of opinion, because the same thing happened with McClung.
Two good submissions, though, and I'd take either one of them.
Well, no doubt about it. Well, you know, that was just, you know, a mark in the road for where we would go later on in the night.
It sure
we
was.
saw another great fight between Chico Doug Billups and Keith Willix. Doug Billups got a technical knockout there in the first round, landed a huge punch, and just hopped on top and never stopped after that.
He did.
That led up to what I'm calling the fight of the night, and I think we both agree that this fight was the fight of the night. The 17-year-old Spencer Holyfield, 0-0 entering tonight, taking on the 36-year-old Brian Wardle, also 0-0 on the night.
What a difference in ages those two fighters had.
And it went all the way down to the end, and it was a majority decision. A bit different from a unanimous decision because, as you and I talked about, one judge clearly thought that Holyfield should have won.
That's right. He had more rounds for Holyfield than he did for Wardle, and the other two judges saw the 2 rounds to 1 for Wardle. So I'm not sure that I would have scored it that way, but once again, I don't get paid to judge, and it's a good thing. I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I wouldn't either. It's a
lot of responsibility, and you know, it's kind of like being a referee in a basketball game. You're never anybody's friend.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. No judges making friends tonight. But one thing the judges did not have a hard time deciding, as we mentioned at the beginning of this segment, the last fight of the night. No doubt about who won that one. No. Showtime Shane Bridges coming up with a huge knockout over Mark Mayhem Manley. That one ended with just seconds left in the first round, and it capped off an absolutely amazing night of MMA.
This card was full of good fights from top to bottom. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better night of fights. 2 really good decision fights that were well fought all the way through, 2 submissions, a technical stoppage, and then a knockout to finish the night.
What else can you ask for when you put it
really
like that?
can't. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. It was a great night of fights, and everybody that came here to see it got a really good show.
I think so. I think they got their money's worth, Aaron. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. Once again, I'm Andy Maness. This is Aaron Hathcock. I'd like to say thanks so much to everybody that made this broadcast possible, especially AA Productions who put on this entire event, and they'll be doing more caged combat championships as we go on throughout the future. I'd like to thank all of our cameramen tonight, especially our executive producer, Marcus Carlton. For Aaron Hathcock, I'm Andy Manis saying so long. We'll see you next time for more MMA on Tubetown.